There are a lot of variations for a lot of tests when they're done at different laboratories, but as you know, Oncotype DX is done in one central laboratory. The parameters are the same, so the results, the outcomes are definitely very similar. This is very important when you use a test that will impact on patients and survival and outcomes, so it's really of the utmost importance. Oncotype DX is well known. It's used routinely in the US and in the West. We wanted to see if there's a difference between our patient populations in the UAE and what has been published in the West, and to evaluate the impact on the financial burden when it comes to the test itself. Is it really cost effective or not? It also gave us an insight into how the treatment decisions might change from one way to the other way or vice versa, and it was very helpful at the end when the study was published. Currently we're using it only for node-negative disease. Eventually in the future we will be using it in node-positive disease. But a lot of times in cancer and breast cancer per se, we're probably over-treating patients, and this test will help us to give the right treatment for the right patients. And if you look at the cost of the test itself in comparison to the over-treatment and the cost of chemotherapeutic agents to certain patients who might not benefit, actually the cost-benefit ratio is much better when you do the test. And this is what we have been doing at Tawam Hospital. Actually, the test and the trial we have done, it showed that there is a greater benefit in doing the test, and it was cost-saving, as was seen in some of the trials that were in the US and in Europe as well. I think the biggest challenge was having the test approved by the regulatory bodies or authorities, because the test is not cheap. It's $3,000 plus, but it's not very expensive either. A lot of the insurance companies didn't approve the test being done, but when you showed them that the benefit and the cost savings to the insurance companies as well to the hospital, they actually started implementing this test. Unfortunately, some of the patients are self-pay patients, and to come up with a certain amount of money might be a little hard, but when you explain to them that if they do not require the chemotherapy, it's probably saving them money, and I think that was the biggest challenge. I think in 2015, Oncotype DX is standard of care for breast cancer, hormone positive, HER2 negative. At the present time, we're using it for node negative, but I see no reason why it could not be implemented in node positive 1 to 3 lymph nodes in the near future across the Middle East and Africa. Again, this is a test that is very reliable and does save money at the end.